2024 has been a good broad. She brought with her humor and allegations of fraud. We witnessed some states revamp their old flags and lost our minds over T-Swift as she raked in those bags. Our hearts have been full, our stomachs empty as we shot ourselves up with some good ol' Ozempies. Oppenheimer made a boom at the Oscars this year, and we continue to unpack the definition of queer. Aliens continue to be cause for alarm. Meanwhile, Musk caught a rocket with his robotic arm. We elected a president who some seem to fear while others admire this man of clipped ear. The world watched amazed at the Olympics in France, where Simone Biles cleaned house and leaving nothing to chance. Spirit Airlines gave up, their bankruptcy filed, and we saw an eclipse with a path that was wild. TikTok lived on, though threats still arise, and our president seemed in a constant state of surprise. The world didn't end, though some thought it would. Many movies were made, and none of them good. We laid several to rest of notable name, Raccoon and Dear Peanut, both fluffy and tame. Cast prevailed as censorship waned. Mainstream media found out we thought they were lame. In the year of our Lord, 2024, we lay you to rest, to live on no more. Welcome back and happy Tuesday, turkeys. How long have we known each other?
We've known each other for 2 decades.
I am not apologizing for who I am or what I like or the people that I love.
How do I be a wife? How do I be a mom? And how do I be myself and all of that? You didn't see that coming, did you? Happy Tuesday
to the turkeys. This is the wrong song.
I know.
Let me put on my funeral garb. We are hosting a wake, a funeral, a memorial celebration for 2024 this morning.
It is time to lay her to rest.
Yes, so before we all get real excited about what the new year might bring, we just thought that we would lay old girl to bed and reflect on her highs and lows and some of the in-betweens.
I love it. How has this year treated you, Kaylee?
I really don't have a lot of complaints. How about you?
Yeah, I don't either. It's better than 2023, so I'm gonna stay content and look ahead. I don't know.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope what I'm doing isn't rude to someone. I was trying to find my Halloween costume and I couldn't get it in time to do this morning, so we just put some black lace on her head. Excuse
I
me.
like how you just have black lace laying around.
Yeah, well, it's normal for me, I guess. Now that you say that, it does sound a little odd. Okay. Well, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to mourn and celebrate the life of our dear lady 2024. I've written a eulogy to kick us off. I recognize eulogies shouldn't rhyme or be hilarious. I don't know that it's hilarious. It was to me. I cackled all afternoon long as I wrote this. But you know what? This is what we did. I've eulogized 2024 in a poem. So for the people that say it looks like I'm reading, I am reading. Okay, let's go. All right. 2024 has been a good broad. She brought with her humor and allegations of fraud. We witnessed some states revamp their old flags and lost our minds over T-Swift as she raked in those bags. Our hearts have been full, our stomachs empty as we shot ourselves up with some good ol' Ozempies. Oppenheimer made a boom at the Oscars this year, and we continue to unpack the definition of queer. Aliens continue to be cause for alarm. Meanwhile, Musk caught a rocket with his robotic arm. We elected a president who some seem to fear while others admire this man of clipped ear. The world watched amazed at the Olympics in France, where Simone Biles cleaned house and leaving nothing to chance. Spirit Airlines gave up, their bankruptcy filed, and we saw an eclipse with a path that was wild. TikTok lived on, though threats still arise, and our president seemed in a constant state of surprise. The world didn't end, though some thought it would. Many movies were made, and none of them good. We laid several to rest of notable name, Raccoon and Dear Peanut, both fluffy and tame. Cast prevailed as censorship waned. Mainstream media found out we thought they were lame. In the year of our Lord, 2024, we lay you to rest, to live on no more.
God. We need to just clip that one part and post it because I'm crying. I'm crying. I'm so impressed. I loved every minute of it. That was the best eulogy you could ever ask for.
Let me just tell you, when I recalled Peanut and his raccoon friend, I was like,
bro, you hit a lot
so
of things that I
excited.
forgot about.
I mean, I went online and looked at the high points. I had so much fun doing that yesterday.
That was perfect. And I don't have anything to say because I'm speechless. It was such a beautiful eulogy. And I'm crying laughing. No, you're creative, is what it is. And that was my favorite thing you've ever done.
Eulogy, not sponsored by Liquid Death, but we're open for it.
Oh my gosh. What mug is that today?
This is Harley Davidson. I had to find something black. Shout out to Emerald Coast Harley Davidson, where Jason bought his motorcycle from in Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
That's so
They're
cute.
lovely people. Or at least the ones I've talked to. Okay. Well, anyway, I don't know. After this, I have laid out trends that I would like to lay to rest this year. You can also shout out to ourselves. You can go back and watch our Poddle episode where we really hammered home the trends that we'd really love to get rid of from 2024. But I've recapped a number of them here, and also my own habits that I think I probably need to bade farewell.
I have a list and I'm excited. Yes, check out our Poddle. Comes out Saturday mornings. No shame plug. But yeah, as far as trends, what would you like to lay to rest going into 2025?
Well, I'm going to just start off with I would like to lay to rest this year, along with the 2024, of all things square in fashion. Square butt pants, square boxy tops, square heels, okay, square nails.
No, I don't like
flat
those.
nails.
No.
The square front on the sandals.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just all things square. The square silhouette in fashion. May she rest in peace.
That's a good one. I didn't think about that one. I am touching on this like I did Saturday, but it's the straight cut mom jeans plus the old dad shoes. It's like the New Balance plus the baggy, but it's not cute baggy. It's like your butt looks flat baggy.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
I don't know. Have you seen the Balenciaga version of New Balance?
Yes, I don't like.
It's like you can look like you're a dad about to mow the lawn for the tune of $700.
It makes no
However
sense.
much they cost.
Well, yeah, probably more.
Cool. Probably. Well, we've discussed this ad nauseum, but I can't continue to reinforce. I'd really like for us to lay to rest the following sayings. It's giving and in my blank era.
Yes, I 1000% agree. And I will also add to that. There's probably new ones that we haven't even heard of because
For sure.
we're, I guess, lame now, but Riz can be bunched along with those as well because I do not like this the saying for Riz. I almost said frizz. It's so dumb.
This is actually a perfect segue for a plug for our Poddle, our Shorty Boy episode coming up next Saturday, where we discuss boomer versus millennial tactics. Not tactics, boomer versus millennial behaviors.
Yes.
Fits right in. Okay. Wait, it's your turn.
Okay. No, but that's okay.
No.
I said it like that. Okay, I'm sorry. I also touched on this, but I cannot handle. You already know what I'm trying to do. You already know what I'm trying to do.
Kayla's trying to make the blood sign with her hands.
No, it's the stupid heart. Why in the world? Look at me.
I still feel like it's incorrect. It's giving love. I'm in my love era.
This is not the way to make a heart. Do you see how perfect
what is the one?
Are?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Do
you remember the girl in high school that was a foreign exchange student from Korea? Yes. I swear she used to do a heart where it's just your thumb and your index finger and you smash them together and it looks like a little heart. Do you see me? Yeah. I'm sorry who are only listening. Yeah. It's like the front facing side. I don't know.
But that's also kind of dumb because it looks like you're about to snap your fingers.
Yeah, I don't know. I vividly remember her showing us different hand gestures that I'd never seen before in my life, and it was so fun to me at the time.
I guess if you know that in your culture, that'd be cute. It's just like easy, like, well, you know.
Yeah. A quick, fast one. Okay. Next, I would really like to be done with zooming in on Taylor Swift at all football games she attends. It's really not even that I have a problem with her. I just sort of think that maybe we should leave her alone. Let her live her dating life. Maybe let her not be on camera for 5 fucking seconds. Maybe she just wants to watch her hunky boyfriend play football, and maybe she wants to be able to like pick her nose and do an ugly cheer and chug beer, and why does we have to keep interrupting that and making her be camera ready while she's just trying to watch football? That's when you should be ugly. You should be allowed to be ugly while watching football.
Okay, I have two thoughts on this. First of all, I don't feel this passionately about the why behind it. I think the why behind it should just be like, I'm watching football. I didn't come to see Taylor Swift. I
I
don't
knew
I
you
don't
would feel
care.
that way.
I'm like, if does she look pretty? Does she look ugly? I don't care. Stop showing her. My second thing is, didn't they break up?
Did they?
Did they?
Oh. Well, then maybe we won't be zooming in on her. But could we just leave celebrities alone? That would be a great trend.
That's
It's never going to
valid.
happen. Ouch.
Yeah, I don't see anything about them not being not together.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, breaking news. I'm just kidding. No, don't listen to me. I think I'm incorrect. Okay, this is taking a turn for the seriousness.
I can't wait.
Well, I'll just say two words: political divisiveness. Let's just try to come together and bring in a hug. You know, you know, you know.
It's true. Let's just not. Let's go back to old school Midwestern Wisconsin rules where we just discuss weather and weather and football.
Yes.
No politics. We're no religion. Oh God. Okay. My last but not least trend that we could please lay to rest would be putting food dyes, fake chemical food dyes, and everything.
Yes.
R.I.P.
1,000.
Okay.
Such a good one. Sorry,
I
that
was
pisses me
waiting for you to
off.
go down a conspiracy
I
hole.
didn't. I am saving that for the bottle. If you want to hear all my conspiratorial things that I'd like to get rid of, you can go there because I had a long list and I figured let's keep that there and not go back.
Can appreciate that. Well, here's some bad habits that here I came to myself. My bad habits that I would like to say RIP to. For me, my first one would be my carb addiction.
Mm.
I realized that the mid of this year, I was just really eating some weird foods just on a craving.
Oh, it's so
Poor
easy
man's
though.
nachos, where you melt cheddar cheese on tortilla chips. It's basically the best dinner ever.
If you really want to turn up a notch, do it on nacho cheese Doritos. That's what I used to do at home when I was a child.
I used to do it with those Florida ones that I've introduced you to that you guys had when you guys were here for my wedding.
The chips.
Do you remember those? The tortilla chips, they're like seasoned. Dude, they're so good. But I turn it up a notch by doing those and doing them in the oven and then putting refried beans on top and salsa. Okay, we don't need to return to it. But just, I don't know. Everyone has opinions. You can share them. I won't probably care, but I managed to kick my carb addiction via the carnivore diet hardcore for 3 weeks. Shout out to Kayla for inspiring me. It's really worked. Now that I got off the 4 days of sugar, of feeling drug out, and as though my body were going to decompose and melt, I've worked things back in. So I eat a vegetable with dinner if I feel like it. Last night I roasted some Brussels sprouts and it sounded good, so I had some.
Good.
But yeah, dude, I quit eating boxed macaroni and cheese on a craving and all the other weird. And now that I'm off of it, I feel better. I am not trying to avoid things. I just don't want them.
Mm-hmm. What I find is weird is because I've been doing this, I just looked at my start date. I've been doing this for about 70 days. So that's a long time.
Yeah.
But for me at least. But like the times where I'm like, oh, I just really want one bite of that. Like, let me have a bite. It doesn't even taste that good anymore because I think your taste buds change and like the processed chemicals or flavors that we're used to liking so much, when you're not used to them, you can kind of tell like, that doesn't taste exactly right because it's not natural.
You are 100% right. Yeah, stuff's just not as fulfilling. I don't know. On Thanksgiving, I wasn't gonna do a whole big ordeal and change everything I was eating, but I just kind of didn't want as much of it. I just was kind of like, no, that's fine. I don't find myself stuffing myself full of shit. And maybe it's because I'm eating meat primarily and feeling satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
I find that I don't feel stuffed anymore doing this. And I've stayed away from, I'm off of like the hardcore side of it because I got to what I felt like I needed to do, but I will still have some beer on the weekends. No one dies. I try to have some protein before so that my blood sugar doesn't spike and drop and then make me feel like a total turd.
Mm-hmm.
It really made me think about how much fluff was in the food I was cooking. Just so much filler fluff, which makes sense when you're trying to stretch a dollar, potatoes and rice and
Yep.
breads and all of that kind of stuff. But I am fortunately not in a position where I need to do that. And so if we just mostly eat meat and then have a veggie and I stay out of the starchy land, I'm feeling a lot better. And again, I'm not feeling stuffed to the gills every time I eat dinner. And I think part of it's because also I'm not having this dopamine run of sugar where I am cramming it into my body.
I love that. I'm so happy that you had such a good experience. I'm also happy. Well, I'm happy that I'm having a good experience. It's funny, we went to for a work uh, holiday lunch. We went to the equivalent of a fogo de chao. Do you know what that is?
You're going to need to explain this for everyone outside of Texas.
You're right. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know why I just assumed.
Is it Brazilian?
Yes, it's a Brazilian steakhouse where they like come out with the big skewers. I'm not talking about the handheld skewers. I'm talking about the big skewers with the meat on the rack, and they come around with this big ass sharp knife, and they're like filet mignon, ribeye,
Dude, that's your
skirt steak.
dream place to eat.
I was in heaven, and it's crazy because they cook the sides or each piece a little differently. So they're like, "Would you like what do you like?" I always like medium. So they turn it to a specific section. They know exactly which side is medium. Anyway, I was having the time of my freaking life, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, we're gonna have the meat sweats." And I'm like, "Yeah, because you ate a bunch of stuff on the salad bar and you ate like 4 rolls and then you had a bunch of meat."
Mm.
I was feeling fantastic. And I was like, they have the cards where if it's green, like you keep going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If it's red, it's like, I'm done. I was the last one out of 16 people, half of them big burly men who I was the last one to have my card green. So I'm like, I love this. I'm in heaven. So anyway, it was really funny. They're like, "Did you pick this place?" I'm like, "I did not, I swear, but I'm very happy." It
That
was
is
the
so
first time I've
perfect.
ever been.
I went to one, this is going to sound so boomer lame of me, but we went to a place that was that way on a cruise ship. The last one that we went on, because I don't know, it was one of the premium restaurants that's not included in the the free for all gorge yourself. But we bought some package on some sale where you got 2 premium meals. Anyway, whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. But it was really good. I'm sure it wasn't as good as if I was on the land, but it was fun. And I wasn't even doing the carnivore life then. But
Yeah, we got derailed, but that it was the best time of my life. It was so
yeah,
good.
dude.
Such good
It's
quality.
so for anybody that's toying with the idea of doing something new in the new year, I mean, talk to a physician or whatever. But I don't know. It was really helpful for me. I think I did a solid 3 or 4 weeks of being very intense. And then I just slowly worked in some of the things that I enjoy having because I didn't have a major weight loss goal or anything like that I was really being aggressive about. But I don't have morning poop my pants after I eat a bunch of shit. I don't have after lunch sleepies from a carb crash. My energy seems much more sustained.
Yeah,
I don't know,
dude.
dude. I just can't say enough about cracking down on the sugar. And I needed to just shut it off completely and have the experience of feeling better without it to then move into a space where I could be controlled and normal.
Yeah, and I will say when I was down for the count with a stomach bug from my lovely son in his daycare, um, I could not eat anything. I had a little bit of soup, and then the following day I had sourdough toast with peanut butter, and I was a little worried because I don't eat just straight bread. The sourdough did not upset my stomach at all, so I'm really excited once I do start incorporating things. Like, I think the sourdough will be a good substitute if I'm wanting some carbies, instead of all the processed bread. And I'm making it, so I know exactly what's in there. So yeah.
Yeah. I honestly, on Thanksgiving, I had homemade sourdough rolls and a normal loaf. And I still didn't eat a shit ton of it, but I have been, instead of chips, if I do a dip for family get togethers and stuff, I'll make a sourdough loaf and then just cut them very thin. So it's sort of like a baguette chip or something. But you're right. I am finding that also doesn't make me want to absolutely crawl in a hole and poop in my pants. Okay.
I love it.
I Your turn.
I won't say no this time. Okay, here's my habit that I'd like to farewell. What is the saying? Anyway,
Bade farewell.
bade farewell is not filling up get my gas the night before. Tell me why. Every time I'm like, I'm gonna leave early enough to go get gas in the morning, and then every time I'm slightly running late and I say F. I don't actually say F, I say a different word. I'm like, crap, I gotta go to the gas station. Every time.
Could you fill it up midday on like a little lunch break?
I could, but for some reason in my head, it's like I've still got 3/4 of a tank, or I've still got half a tank. It's just like until it gets to a quarter, that's a bad habit.
Gotcha.
So loop that in there. I need to just do it more frequently, especially with
Right?
my longer drive now. It's like I can't just, I can't just make it on those 2 last bars. I
Right?
have to have at least half a tank in there to make it from point A to point B.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. I've started trying to fill mine up in the middle of the day or in the middle of runs of doing other things because I know that if it's the end of the day, I'll just want to go home. And if it's the morning, it's not going to happen.
That's smart.
Okay, this is not a me habit, but maybe just as Americans, could we kick the habit of buying everything off Temu?
I'm not gonna lie, I tried it once. I just want to see what the hype was about. But I'm like, there's no way. I have paint all over my arm. I'm sorry. I was painting last night, obviously. So I just was like, there's no way this is $1. Like, how are you selling this thing for 99 cents? This is either straight up poison, like made of poison,
Mm,
and or in a very, very bad situation, these things are being made. I just don't understand it. It makes me so nervous.
I know. Well, I mean, let's be honest, I have an iPhone, so I'm contributing to the
I know.
problem
Yeah.
along with everyone with an electric vehicle, but it just does seem silly. It even just on a wasteful, willy-nilly, we have too much shit sort of a thing. Maybe we just don't need so much bullshit. Just have less.
Honestly, in that terms, I could just like tone the Amazon deliveries down a little bit. I feel like every time I'm like, well, it's for the family, it's for the house. But I
For the
could
family.
probably like.
Do I need it?
Okay, here's one for me that's very relevant now, is thinking I'll finish my to-do list in one day. Like I sit there and I'm like, I can do this all in one day. Whereas I should just make sure I check off a couple things like highest priority and be okay with that. Because it's never all going to get done. And there will always be more things to add. And it's just
Yeah.
a vicious cycle of self productivity madness that I feel as though I have to achieve.
I feel that. Not exactly the same, but sort of. I put for myself, I would really like to bid farewell to filling every spare minute with either a podcast or a TV show instead of living in the silence of my own thoughts.
Bro, we've talked about this, and every time I just kind of ignore it because it's so true and I don't want to admit it. It's so bad. It's so bad. I mean, every moment it's something.
I know. And I'll tell myself, but I'm learning.
Yeah.
And then I wonder why I feel overstimulated at the end of the day because I'm
What
fully
I
stupid.
Oh my God, you're so freaking right. What I have loved is in the holiday season, I'm just putting like one of those screens on YouTube, and all you see is like the snow and maybe a fireplace flicker, which is like low, soft, no words, Christmas music. That's probably the closest thing I've gotten to some like peace and quiet brain space, but geez.
Sometimes the music in the background I like, and I can have some creative self thought at my own thoughts when it's music, especially instrumental music.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to do sub that out when I'm taking a shower, getting ready in the morning for listening to something. But I mean, and I am a podcast girly and I love them. And I've learned a lot from my ones that I listen to. But I definitely realize, like, okay, if I'm starting to feel as though my nervous system is entering fight or flight mode or has remained in a sustained fight or flight, that I need to go outside with quiet and just pet the dogs and be quiet for a few minutes.
I didn't want to hear that, but I needed to hear that.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it either. I'm also making myself try to I've talked about this, go on runs or work out with music instead of a podcast all the time. So instead of dissociating from my body and listening to information, I am using music to get more plugged in.
I cannot run with a podcast in my ear. I need some pump up jams if I'm gonna run. Oh my God. That's a good one. Okay. For me, I would like to stop playing games on my phone for an hour before I fall asleep. Now, let me caveat this. I don't do this every night. I don't do this every night, but there's some nights where I'm awake and finally get my son down to bed. And I'm like, well, it's finally me time. Finally, at the end of the day, I'm like, let me just play these couple games that I like to play. Connections, strands, shout out to NY times. Anyway, and then I realize it's like midnight. I'm like, gosh, dang it, Kayla. So like
Right.
maybe limit it or something, but it is kind of nice sometimes to just shut my brain off and do that, but I should probably not do it so long.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not, at least it's a low stimulation word game. Well, last but not least, I have several new horizons that I would like to welcome. I'll just prattle these off real quick. I'm trying to catch a sunrise most mornings with my actual eyeballs.
Are you
So
going
doing my,
outside?
yeah, for my workouts. Like this morning, I ran not over the whole bridge because this bitch can't run 7 miles in the morning, but I'll just go for a while on the bridge. And it's so fun because the sun's coming up and I love it with my whole heart. Next, I'm trying to do 5 minutes of box breathing per week because I was told in a podcast that it can help your lung capacity and among other things. So it's also a good way to do a meditation. So I set a timer and do that on Tuesdays before I do my yoga now. I've done it
Nice.
for 2 weeks, but that has been a fun new little ditty. I would like to implement more intentional gratitude practice in my life. So I've been trying to stick with morning pages. We've talked about this at length from the Artist Way journey book that I did at the beginning of last year. So I'm trying to start off my morning pages by actually writing out some gratitude points and being more intentional about that, which all encompasses my final new horizon to welcoming some type of spiritual practice back in my life. I just really feel as though that is my new area of focus in my whole health.
I like that.
I'm coming around the corner of my bitter years of recognizing that my problem has been with the people in religion and not so much the actual spiritual and faith piece itself, and needing to let myself let go of do some little forgiveness work here and then get realigned with my higher power situation and have a spiritual practice instead of being so fixated on all of the humans that absolutely ruined the experience.
Seriously, that's good. I like that. Those are all amazing. Okay, I'll run through mine real quick. I would like to have more patience with things, aka as a mom. You mentioned box breathing. You should also try to incorporate brushing your teeth with your opposite hand.
Ooh, I could give that a try.
Yeah, because it helps re-synopsisize your brain. It's not the scientific definition, but anyway, it helps. And then, okay, I really want to get into, I labeled this farm connections. Okay, so hear me out. I'd like to find a farmer to get, don't ban us, YouTube, RAW milk from the farmers. I'd like to get eggs from the farmers. And I'd also like to do what you have done and go in on like a quarter of a cow or half a cow, which we do need to get a big freezer, but I would love that so much. And then adjacent to that is my goal is to get my garden started in 2025. So we finally cleared out the space in the back. I have the plans. Now me and my dad actually have to make it. So I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to do it like at least make it first quarter while it's so cool. So, and then therapy. I've said this for the last year, but I just have to go and get in there.
Yes, I have faith in you.
Therapy 2025.
Good deal. I'm doing spiritual healing 2025. We'll see what that looks like. Stay tuned.
I love it.
Well, my tip this week, honestly, is she doesn't need my help, but shout out to Christina P's lipstick. I'm wearing the Berlin color.
It's so cute.
She has new colors out. Yeah. Berlin, Madison. There's another one. I don't know. I have the Perfect Red, which was the OG. And then I got Berlin. And
It's real
she's
cute.
dark burgundy and spooky. And it's helping me live my winter dreams. I don't know. I'm very excited
It's
about it.
perfect with your skin color and your hair. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm surprised that for someone who's blonde, she made this color that seems to also be fine for my skin tones, but I don't know. I'm sorry to the faithful males that listen to this. You probably don't give a shit about lipstick, but no worries. And until next week, Happy New Year.
See you later, 2024.
See you next year.
It was extra loud for some reason.
Oh,
I liked it though.
good
Love you,
for you.
bye. Love you, bye.
I love you.
Oh.
Next.